Hi, I'm Steve Cohen, and welcome to this week's Open to the Public. First off, you've seen those tours on Saturday and Sunday morning where they have a group of 10, 20 people showing off all our beautiful Art Deco architecture here in South Florida. We're going to talk with Michael Hughes from the Miami Design and Preservation League, and we'll tell you what those Art Deco walks are all about. Second stop, we're going to head over to the Eden Rock Hotel. Congressman Joe Kennedy was in town. The Kennedys, the royal family of the United States. He was here visiting his good friend Ron Lowy. We'll talk with Joe for a couple of minutes and find out what's new and exciting in Congressman Kennedy's life. Finally, we're going to end up down at Spec's Music over on 5th and Collins. Barry Gibbons, the chairman there, comes to Spec's from Burger King. We'll find out what's new and exciting in Barry's life and the challenges that go into Spec's Music brings forward and some of the exciting plans and exciting ways that Spec's Music will be in your future. All of that on this week's Open to the Public. Hey Barry, what's the story?
The story's this. Nobody beat Bach. Take a look at this.
Diamond tennis bracelets from $99.
1-carat diamond engagement rings from $9.95. Thousands of gold chains, bracelets, rings, earrings, new and used Rolexes and other fine brands, and thousands of Seikos up to 60% off. So if you're selling, buying, fixing, sizing, bargain hunting, or customizing, nobody beats Bach.
Oh, you beautiful dreamboat, you.
Shift into the past as the History Channel presents Automobiles.
I owe much to those who have pioneered and developed the automobile.
Travel down yesterday's back roads to the days when the streets had no names, or to the times when we believed the bigger the better.
Why, it's as wide as a bowling alley in there.
Test Drive Automobiles, Thursdays at 10 on the History Channel.
Sure. Friendly Honda has great prices on new 96 Hondas. And yes, Friendly Honda lives up to its name. But Friendly Honda also has something that no other dealer in the world has. A cat named Senior. And it's Senior's job to make sure everything at Friendly Honda runs smoothly. From sales to leases to service. Senior even watches over the big guys. So when you stop by Friendly Honda, go straight to the top. Ask for Senior. And for the best price, shop Friendly Honda last.
You're injured in an accident. You see a doctor. You're out of work. Then what? You probably need some sound legal advice. At Cohen & Cohen, we've been helping accident victims since 1970. If you've been injured in any type of accident, what are you waiting for? Pick up the phone and call Cohen & Cohen now for answers regarding your legal rights. Call Cohen & Cohen now at 1-800-33-COHEN. That's 1-800-33-COHEN.
Like myself, you walk down Washington Avenue or Ocean Drive and you see a group of people at 10 o'clock in the morning gather around and someone pointing to a building or something like that. Of course, it's the Art Deco tours brought to you by Miami Design and Preservation League, and I'm with Michael Hughes. Michael, there are a lot of different tours that you people are doing now, aren't there?
There sure are. We have expanded our Saturday morning tour now to about 6 tours, and we go Saturday morning at 10:30 through the northern parts of the district. Then Thursday evenings we go south and we incorporate that 8th Street retail area, showing the incorporation of the new garage and the facades, and just the way the area is revitalized through, protection of buildings. In addition to that, we are now introducing the northern parts of the beach, or mid-beach, beginning at the 41st Street Bridge, and we're actually heading up and showing the Fontainebleau and the evolution of those resort hotels that really makes Miami Beach a very special place. So
and
we're excited.
I remember those resort hotels growing up, and it is, I mean, it's exciting to go back and do them. The people who are going on these tours, is it strictly tourists, or do you have, I mean, the way I see a lot of these, I see the local guys going in, there's the cable guy as I ride by on my bicycle. Are there locals on the tours also?
We do, especially as we begin and we do new tours. We see a lot of people who come and they're excited about what we're doing, and they'll come along. But generally, I would say we're always the majority as people visiting us, and that makes me excited because I get to thank them for coming and being a part of the district. And then I'd love to see more locals come and take part, just because there's so much here to see, and our history is so living that you don't necessarily need to read a book. Just come be a part of it, and maybe in a little way we're making history for 50 years from now about what we're doing here, and that I think is pretty exciting.
Now talk about 50 years from now. These tours have been going on for 20 years in the Art Deco district. I mean, it seems just like yesterday.
It does seem like yesterday, and I've been doing tours for 4 years now, and I think what we have found in just the past year or so, that the evolution of the district is now almost complete, and now we need to say we have done a lot to protect the architectural heritage of the district. Let's expand on that and say the post-war architecture is important as well, and maybe even that interwar architecture of 1940 to about 47, when we started seeing the high-rises like the Raleigh to the Delano, the National Hotels, which now are gaining that excitement, becoming, now that we have sort of the full-service hotel is now developing itself in the Art Deco tradition, as opposed to always building anew. So I think we're going a lot further now than what we'd ever had before.
Okay, let's play Test Michael's memory here and open to the public. The 6 tours. Do you remember them all?
The 6 tours. Oh, the 6 tours. Yes, I do know. We'll go south on Saturday mornings. I'm sorry, north Saturday mornings, the initial Art Deco district tour. Thursday evenings, we're going to head off and do the southern parts down to about 8th, 6th Street, down by the Park Central. We do a bike tour. We do the walking tour then of the Fontainebleau, 34th Street to 44th, essentially, beginning at the Jefferson Bank building. What's number 4 then? Espanola Way, we'll be doing a tour there of the Spanish Mediterranean Village. And we're going to do Lincoln Road as well. Finally, when the pedestrian mall is completed again and it's, 30-year sort of recycling, I think it'll be an interesting place for people to really pick up. I don't think a lot of people know the Sterling building was originally a 20s building that was turned into a streamlined structure. And let's see, what would be number 6?
I think you did all 6. I think actually the 6th one is, is that the Lincoln Road construction tour that they have going on?
No, the audio tour, I'm sorry. We're doing an audio tour these days, which is great because that way people can do the district at their own times. And Thursday evenings as well, when the neon kicks on, it really is a unique environment to see things in a new way with the lights. And it's harder to see features, but you see the excitement. And I always say, look up at the moon and see the palm trees going and the wind blowing, and it really just creates why we're all here. I mean, that's what it's all about.
For the people at home, both the old-timers, the old-time beach people, and the new people to Miami Beach, is there a favorite tour that you recommend for someone who lives here?
I like going south now. We've just incorporated that about 2 months now. And what you do is we can sort of pull in the glamour of going to Versace's house or something like that, or Casa Cosarina, I should give its original name. And then heading south, and you can incorporate that architectonica feature showing something like the Park Central, which for 1936 is quite magnificent. And then coming up Ocean Drive, where the excitement really is. So you get both sides of the district. I think that really is nice to see, old and new.
Now, one last question. If you're a little bit on the Zoftic side, like some of the talk show hosts here on Channel 3, how much walking is involved in these tours? I'm protecting my brothers at home, my Zoftic brothers at home.
No, we can do a lot of walking, especially the tour that we're trying to do up by the Fontainebleau can be about 3 miles. But generally, we're looking probably at maybe 20 blocks altogether, and I'll assume that's 2 miles or so.
A phone number for people at home if they want to find out more about the tour.
672-2014.
672-2014. Thank God I have a photographic memory. Michael Hughes from the Art Deco District Guide, Miami Design and Preservation. Yeah, no, I got to say the whole name so I can screw it up and mispronounce it. I've only been involved with you guys for 25 years, but what the hell.
Great, thank you.
Thanks for being with us.
Glad we were here.
For over 80 years, we have served the public and other fine jewelers. I'm Scott King of Martin King Jewelers. Come to our wholesale showrooms to see one of the largest and most beautiful collections. Diamond solitaires of all shapes and sizes, emerald, ruby, sapphires, and imported fine gold jewelry, all at wholesale prices. We are distributors of Audemars Piguet and Bertolucci watches, manufactured since 1912. fabulous jewelry, fabulous prices. That's Martin King's 1074 Kane Concourse, Bay Harbor.
Hi, I'm Ellen Friedman from Mark's Quality Cleaners. We're perfecting the art of making you look great. At Mark's, we've installed technology that creates optimal cleaning conditions. Our skilled staff assures that every phase of cleaning and pressing reflect our mark of excellence. Mark's, a Miami Beach landmark, is easily accessible at the breezy corner of Alton and 20th Street. We offer same-day service 6 days a week. Our new hours from 6:30 till 9 weekdays are geared to your convenience.
Oh, you beautiful dreamboat, you.
Shift into the past as the History Channel presents Automobiles.
I owe much to those who have pioneered and developed the automobile.
Travel down yesterday's back roads to the days when the streets had no names, or to the times when we believed the bigger the better.
Why, it's as wide as a bowling alley in there.
Test Drive Automobiles, Thursdays at 10 on the History Channel.
Sure. Friendly Honda has great prices on new 96 Hondas. And yes, Friendly Honda lives up to its name. But Friendly Honda also has something that no other dealer in the world has. A cat named Senior. And it's Senior's job to make sure everything at Friendly Honda runs smoothly. From sales to leases to service. Senior even watches over the big guys. So when you stop by Friendly Honda, go straight to the top. Ask for Senior. And for the best price, shop Friendly Honda last.
This could be a winning combination here in the lobby of Eden Rock Hotel. Kennedy and Cohen. Of course, I have Congressman Joseph Kennedy honoring us here in South Florida. What brings you to South Florida?
Well, I'm here to see some old friends like Ron Lowy and a number of others that have been willing to give me a helping hand on my campaign, and to visit with some good people that have been great friends of the Kennedy family for many, many years.
Now, you just got reelected for another term in Congress.
Yes, I did.
Something on your agenda this time. I know you've been very big with energy. You're still involved with that, aren't you?
Of course, and you know, I started Citizens Energy before I came to the Congress, but I think really, which provides us sort of low-cost home heating oil and natural gas and pharmaceutical drugs and a range of other programs for people. But really, I think this time in the Congress, you got people that are in this country that I think now have seen so much confrontation in the last Congress between Newt Gingrich and the Democrats and the like, and I think now they want us to get something done. There's a lot of people that have really important needs with regard to whether or not their jobs are going to be secure, whether or not they're going to be able to provide for their children, as well as their parents. Too often we find that people are struggling to make ends meet, and yet when they think of the day-to-day problems of looking out after a parent that might be sick, or a child that might need health care or might need child care, and certainly needs a better education. So there are a lot of problems that ordinary families face every day that we need to begin to take care of.
The name Kennedy is synonymous with politics here in the United States, and it's synonymous with tragedy also. Why did you decide to get involved in politics?
Well, I mean, I think I had done a lot of work for many years in Citizens Energy, and I just felt that the government is a much more effective way of dealing with the same kinds of issues and problems that I think families deal with on a day-to-day basis. My father always felt that politics was an honorable profession, and I think that it still can be. People tend to denigrate politics and to run down politicians, so I think that it's important that we recognize that we need to have a sense of community in this country and not always be focusing so much on the negative, but really be focusing on what we can do by helping one another. We are a nation of rights, but we're also a nation of responsibilities. And I think to emphasize the notion that we have to take individual actions to begin to solve our problems is one that is still important to stress in terms of public life.
Let's get off of politics a minute. I understand you're a pretty good fisherman. That true? I mean,
well, I do love to fish.
Does that bring you here down to South Florida often, or you don't get the opportunity?
Not as often as I would like, but we there's still a couple of fish swimming around Massachusetts, and whenever we get down to Florida, although I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pull it off this trip because I got to be back in Boston tomorrow. But this is it's really my wife Beth and my two sons Matt and Joe. I think our first love is getting out on the ocean and seeing if we can land one, and we'd love to do it off the Florida coast.
Well, listen, we hope we can have you here fishing a little bit more somewhere in your busy schedule and helping the people of this country. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Good-looking guy to my left, David Bromberg, advertising sales manager here at Gold Coast Cablevision. David, how does it work? I'm sitting at home watching TV. I see a Budweiser commercial. I see a Coca-Cola commercial. And then 10 minutes later, I see a commercial for an auto shop here in Miami Beach. Explain to us how that works. How many commercials there are during an hour?
Actually, what you have is there's 15 different networks that are available for local advertisers, and they range from an ESPN and a CNN to an MTV or an A&E and Discovery. And what is available is 2 minutes per hour on each channel for local businesses to promote their goods and services.
So someone like myself who's been here 40 years, when the season comes, it gets real busy. So there's not as much advertising time available. So if you want to advertise, you need to do it now, don't you?
Right. Gold Coast Cablevision reaches 60,000 households, which is about 120,000 or more people. You can reach those people very easily on television because most of them watch TV daily.
Now, what about doing a commercial? Everyone thinks at home that it costs a lot of money and that the people doing it aren't experts. There are some good people out there, aren't there?
Some great people out there. Actually, as you say, the people that produce Open to the Public will actually produce your commercial.
Ralph Budd, Eleanor Ho?
Exactly.
The same team?
The same people. It's a small world.
So you people at home, I don't want you going out trying to produce Open to the Public. I want you to go out there, produce a terrific commercial for your business, advertise here on Gold Coast Cablevision. How do they get a hold of you?
It's very easy. Just call 861-6533, extension 3200, and what we'll do is we'll send a salesperson out, not to hard sell, but just to talk to you about your business and see if they can help you and we can help you be more successful.
David Bromberg, advertising sales manager here at Gold Coast Cablevision. The man knows everything about advertising on cable. Thank you, David.
Thanks, Steve.
It seems good fortune follows Barry Gibbons wherever he goes. He came to South Florida as chairman and chief executive officer of the Burger King Corporation in South Miami, and now is here as chairman of Spec's South Beach. This is the future of Spec's music, isn't it?
Well, this is part of the future of Spec's music. I mean, this is a huge store right in one of the, I think, the heart of one of the entertainment centers of the planet in South Beach. But I'm leading Spec's towards a more balanced portfolio. Wider interest in leisure and entertainment. I mean, just to have all your eggs in the basket of music retailing in this day and age is pretty risky. So that's one of my challenges here.
Yeah, music retailing is changing also. I mean, stores like Spec's and Peaches that have literally growing up here in South Florida the past 25 years, they're part of the foundation. That business is starting to change. What direction is it going into?
Well, people are bypassing it. I mean, people are buying music products, but they're buying it from the computer, they're buying it through direct mail, they're buying it direct off the television. So the retailer has got new competitors he's never had before. Not just more of the same, they've got new people. And to grow in the business, I mean, my belief is there are no growth or decline industries, there's only growth or decline people, yeah? And we've got to figure out where the growth is and take Spec's there before anybody else does. That's really how I see my challenge in Spec's. Mission Impossible, you know? They model the movie on my
But you seem to like that. I mean, you came to Burger King, and Burger King was on the decline. Burger King was having all kinds of troubles. And when you leave 5 years later, Burger King is again a strong #2 and challenging McDonald's for the top. Yeah, why do you like that challenge?
I don't know. It's a gene that was built in me. I have an Irish father, and there's some weird alchemy going in me. I wouldn't know what it was like to kind of go home at night and, you know, your wife says, what kind of day do you have at the office? And you say, oh, more success, more market share, more cash. I don't know. I just love these challenges where the only option for a business is you can't stay the same. No, you have to change. The status quo is not an option. And they're usually in such a state that you're not required to check your guns at the door, so you can just do some weird stuff, you know. That's what I like.
Interesting story about Burger King, and I think we want to tell the people at home. You were Burger King. You went to a board meeting back in England. You were in a conversation. Tell the people of the earring story.
Well, Burger King is owned by Grand Met, which is a UK international conglomerate, and they have not got, I don't know, the sensitivity or awareness of the major issues of diversity that you have in United States business, and therefore we had what is euphemistically called in business a workshop. So the board assembled from all four corners of the globe back in England under the chandeliers, the whole bit. And I was brought over there, and I had a particular enemy across the boardroom table. We'd sparred and arm wrestled for a while. And we started this forum by talking about our own prejudices. And he gave this long vitriolic speech about guys with earrings. And I challenged back saying, if I landed from Mars, what's the difference between an earring and that 40 grand's worth of Rolex you have on your wrist? And that didn't help the process. So as we went for a few beers afterwards, one of my buddies on the board and I had a bet that I would go in Grand Met's hallowed headquarter halls, the chandeliers, the Queen Anne furniture, wearing an earring the next day. And I had to scramble. I found a key ring. And I put it on, and I went in there next day with the full IBM suit, the red tie, the white shirt, and an ear and a key ring hanging on there. There were some double takes that would make Hollywood. I can tell you that. But this is the real thing. It's now pierced. Folks, I went through the agony for this. It was either that or a tattoo, but you know, I don't like needles.
Yeah, and I don't think I could do the tattoo myself.
Yeah, I need more beer for a tattoo.
Yeah, really. couple more shots on that.
Yeah.
You wind up leaving, Burger King goes through your corporate headquarters here in South Florida. You go through Hurricane Andrew.
Oh, yeah.
After everyone gets settled at Burger King, that's when you leave. Why at that point? Didn't you bond with the people, helping them get resettled, helping them rebuild their homes?
That was a freaky year. I mean, you have to understand it was the end of 5 years for me. It wasn't the only year there. But we were wiped out. We took the eye of the hurricane. It was like Hiroshima down there. Half my people lost their homes. We lost the building. And it was a very traumatic and stretching year for me to help everybody and the business stay alive and reach the kind of tough profit targets you have in an international corporation. And also get the folk back, help the folks get their lives back together and back in the headquarters. The day I did it was the day I left. And I don't know, it's something about not being born with rear view mirrors. I like to keep moving, and I felt that probably I'd given it my best at that stage, and it was right for somebody else to take on and for me to move on, not just from Burger King, but in life generally.
Now let's come back to Specs.
Yeah.
Okay, of course, that's where we're at. And by the way, you people, we're at the Spec Superstore on 5th Street and Collins Avenue. And I'm sure we've did a show with Ann Leaf. You're the chairman, Ann is chief executive. Okay, we got to get the titles right.
Absolutely. Well, I'm really Supreme Allied Commander. But, I haven't told everybody that.
We have a first here in OTP. Spec's getting into the concert business.
No, he said, I'm not getting into the concert business. I mean, one of my challenges here is to get Specs a broader based portfolio on the leisure and entertainment business. And yes, we've launched a business called SoBe, South Beach Music Festival, and Sheryl Crow, folks, 6th of September, be here. Bargain of the century is on the beach in a concert. But I really think I'm getting into the SoBe business. Because I just love this place. I mean, if you look at the world, you've got the Riviera in Europe, you've got Bondi Beach, you've got Copacabana, Santa Monica. Yesterday's news, guys. I think South Beach is one of the best kept secrets in the world of entertainment and leisure, and I just want to be part of making. We want to hold 3 or 4 festivals here a year with lots of exciting acts, concerts, yes, but there'll be other activities as the thing matures over the years. And I just love the idea of being a part of making this South Beach, you know, up there with the Rivieras and Bondi. And it's funny because I think a lot of people living in South Florida don't appreciate the jewel that they have here. It's a bit like living in England. When people come to visit me in my home there, I never go and see the British Museum. You know, it's right on my doorstep, but you never go. But when people come to you, they look at it and say, wow. And it's the same thing, I think, with SoBe.
And it's the truth. I mean, I tell the people at home that we have this jewel here that the people that have lived here for 10, 15, 20 years don't appreciate.
It's so relevant, this place, the way the culturally and attitudinally to modern lifestyle. for the holidaymaker, the vacation, the whole. I mean, it's so relevant, and I love the idea of being a part of it with Specs.
Now, the Sheryl Crow concert on the beach. Why on the beach? The Pavarotti concert got you excited?
Yeah,
with
it did, and I think if it's Sobe, why not Sobe? There's a wonderful amphitheater there, and we have it beautifully planned. Everybody's cooperated with us, and we're going to have a hell of a party on the beach. I mean, once we'd announced it, Sheryl was so determined. I mean, she rang me up at 3:30 in the morning and said, "I must play this, Barry." Don't believe that. But listen, she did bend her schedule. Once we knew we had this, and we wanted Sheryl because she's actually, you know, the hot act of the autumn. She bent her schedule to do it, and I'm so pleased we've landed her for the first one.
When can we expect the other? I don't even call them concerts. If you people have not been to the Pavarotti, they're events. Yeah, they're events. They're much bigger than a concert. What are some of the other events that they're gonna take place here on the ocean?
We haven't finalized the next name or names, but the plan will be probably in the spring of next year, March, April next year, the next one, and then maybe, probably, as damn near certainly as I can make it, 2 after Labor Day, around September, and 1 around this time next year. So we should have, in the second year here, we should have 3 of these, I'm hoping.
What do you do for fun?
This?
I wanted you to say something different, but I mean, this is your life. This is your fun.
I mean, I have what I don't have anymore, since when I left Burger King, I took a decision to leave big business. And when I say that, I mean, Specs is a big business, but it's the all-consuming, one-dimensional chief executive. I have, you know, that bit. I've got a portfolio of interests now. I write, I do some speaking, I do some consulting. I've got businesses ranging from music publishing to Specs to coffee in California to some in England, and I keep busy. I have a whale of a time. I have to keep pinching myself, you know, to make sure I'm not dreaming. It's fun.
The future. Is there something that you haven't done that you want to do?
I'd like to turn around the planet Mars because I worry about its position in the marketplace in the universe. And
positioning is the key.
I think Mars needs a helping hand, and that's probably my next one. And I will go there as Supreme Allied Commander. Nothing less, and all on a stock-based deal.
And we know if Barry Gibbons is involved, you're going to bring a lot of people there with you. I mean, it seems that people follow behind you.
First festival on Mars. I got to fill the place.
What are the changes that are going to take place at Specs that you perceive?
I mean, one of the things I have to do is kind of paint a broad brush picture of what the business looks like in 2 or 3 years, and I not in detail, just broad shapes. It's a rough painting. And I see us being involved, not necessarily wholly owning these businesses, but being partners or joint venturees or whatever it is in a range of different leisure entertainment businesses. I think we are wonderfully placed in the world of Latino music and entertainment here. We don't realize what pockets of growth are happening in that particular business. And there are a whole range of things where there are pockets of growth that we can link with, bring value to them, and venture in a way that you bring synergy with both the partnerships. So I think maybe 4, 5, 6, I don't know how many ventures like that in the Specs portfolio over the next 2 or 3 years. And at the same time that we want to get our core retail business competing differently, marketing differently. We have to do this better. We have to make it more effective and efficient in the marketplace. And therefore you have a more balanced portfolio underneath the Specs umbrella.
Well, I'm sure with you at the helm as chairman of Specs that things are going to change and look bright for you like taking over the companies that are challenged to you.
And we're going to grin on the way.
Really.
While we go
and have a good time. Barry Gibbons, chairman of Specs. Things are on the change here. Thanks, Barry.
You're welcome.
And thank you for being a part of South Florida.
You're lucky to be here. I love it.
With so many hot events happening, open to the public.